show. Recorded live.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, here we are.
Hello. This is Jeshua.
This is Faye.
And Ambika.
Yes, you would have thought it strange if I called myself Ambika. Good night, everyone. Before we go into the rest of the show, maybe we can do a little mic test here just to see if these babies are behaving tonight.
Yeah, you can, and we're got a different board up too, so it's kind of strange for us here right now.
Yes, I'm gonna try to change that. No, it doesn't change anything.
Can you hear all of us straight?
I hope so. Well, anyway, if anybody has a problem hearing us tonight, just let us know because we'll be totally unable to do anything about it since we are live. But of course, the show is recorded.
Sounds like it's fine.
Okay.
Everybody's saying good. Okay, good.
That's good. So here we are, Thursday night instead of Wednesday night, and a lot of stuff has been going on here. Actually, I do have to admit, I sound very cheerful now, but our day has gone a little bit differently, and we'd like to talk about that a little bit in the course of the show.
Intense day.
Yes, intense days, I should actually say. Mm-hmm. And there's also some other things, of course, that we'd like to discuss. We're going to be talking about Kundalini energy in all its forms, especially the new Kundalini, which is happening at this very moment, coming into all of us, not just the three of us here, but all of us. And everybody would be having a different sensation with regards to that. So I'm actually looking forward to finding out a lot about that tonight.
Yes.
Aren't we, Faye?
Yes, indeed.
Yes. I do want to let everyone know before we actually go into the rest that we have a call-in system today, I hope. We're using a different system to work with talkshow. I'm just going to give the number, although it should be at the bottom of your screen. That's 724-444-7444. Call ID would be 48487, and then you would be on the air with us, or at least in our queue. We don't know yet how the system is going to work, so if it doesn't work, we'll
figure it out, but we're going to give it a try tonight anyway.
Yes, and of course, we're all waiting for Katumi's arrival tonight. Very interesting what he's going to be talking about, what he has to say, isn't it?
Indeed.
Got all your questions lined up?
Yes, and he's even asked us to prepare a surprise song before his actual channel, which we will not be singing, by the way. It will be through YouTube that we'll be doing that one.
Yes.
And probably
Kutumi.
Yeah.
Yes.
If I knew Kutumi.
Yes, I think so too. So anyway, let's go into a little bit of topics that we've been experiencing, symptoms, let's say, that we've been experiencing, and how our week has been.
Personality.
Yay, personality.
Oh, our favorite thing, personality. Yeah.
Yes.
It's so much fun, isn't it?
Actually,
it's delightful.
Actually, before we go into it, we may want to. We actually just got an email from Elizabeth Weiss, who has been talking to us about, of course, the Mayan calendar,
right,
which we have discussed last week somewhere.
Right.
And she was reminding us of the May 6th experience that has been occurring with regards to the Mayan calendar. We'll go a little bit deeper into that as the show continues, but also, of course, the May 9 and May 10 that we are right on top of now. It's almost going to be on top of us, actually.
Yeah, so we are noticing that personality is showing up. I mean, it's like black and white. There's not a lot of gradations. There's black or white. You're either good or you're deep in it. So,
yeah.
And that may be the case out there as well. I know that our show was postponed until tonight, yesterday, and because Jeshua was downloading some energy and was going through really bad cramping and headaches and he just simply wouldn't be able, much less to really be much for conversation, but certainly not to channel. So since the channeling was already, and we wanted to keep that intact. But we did get some response on the message board in regards to that, that we felt had a lot of personality in it. And what also occurred was that it engaged our own personalities. So we've been playing personality quiz game.
Yes.
Yeah, personality quiz game today. How many times can you see personality?
Yes. We've had.
And in what forms is it showing itself? We've seen it from judgment.
Yes.
And we have seen it from
Judgment.
And we have seen one more time.
Ambika.
Judgment.
Yes, it's been quite intense, and when we're talking about personality, please know that we're not just referring to some people out there maybe, but we're also talking about ourselves. It's been a challenging time, and it actually brings me back, guys, to when Ikara was here a while ago. I'm not talking about the radio show, but he's been giving us some information a while ago, remember? Mm-hmm. When we were having a conversation about personality and the attributes that Adamus talked about later. But of course, the fact is that we are now at the last stages, all of us are at the last stages, let's say, of working with or through channeling our own essence, our own beingness, through the means of a personality. And as that is happening, for all of us, everyone, as that is happening, of course, what is a little bit difficult is to understand the difference. And even though you may understand the difference between your consciousness, let's say, and your personality, many will have noticed, I guess there's many people out there that will have noticed how easy it is to still react through it, even though you are realizing it. I mean, I was happy.
And it has gotten very, very clever at producing itself, so sometimes even for me, it's imperceptible, the difference. It's presenting itself very, very effectively. So that it's not until things become a bit outrageous that it's like, oops, personality.
That is true.
And for me, it even got a little bit further. I thought I was kind of letting go of the personality. Basically, I was letting go of myself. So there was no Ambika left. And it's funny, Katumi gave me a message today, and he said, you lose everything on your way to Ascension, but not yourself. And I was like, yeah, that's kind of true, I guess.
Yeah, Faye and I were looking for Ambika anywhere.
Yeah, she's been pretty quiet the last few days, and finally it was like, no, this is not our imagination.
No.
So, yeah, and so that one came up, that she had kind of gone numb and dying, so that she wouldn't feel the feelings that, or I would even say the negative feelings that would have come up from the personality being activated.
And actually,
I just ascended totally.
Yeah.
You dissolved, my dear. You dissolved.
Are you channeling breathing? There's actually an interesting comment on the message board. Not to say that the other comments aren't interesting. Just to be careful here. By Ahancha, who says, I guess the releasement of personality causes a sense of void sometimes.
Yes. Definitely,
because we're so darn used to working with it, to channeling everything that we are through it. And, we have been talking a lot about that today, and actually what we're noticing, what many people are hitting right now, both on our boards and off, and also for ourselves, that is that giant moment that we are now approaching. And I just want to, take a little time and talk to everyone about that, because we do have a huge chance here. I remember some shows ago there was a question, I think for Ikara it was, asking, can we ascend now? Well, I think Ikara said yes.
He said, simple answer, yes. Complicated answer, or something like, yes, of course,
yes,
or something like that.
And, of course, I do want to remind everybody out there that we are, all of us, continuously in an ascension process. This process is already occurring, and it is ongoing.
And I want to add on that point that we all three, just to set the record straight, are very much human beings, just like everybody else. We have to go by the same
rules,
limitations. I mean, we have to overcome we have the same obstacles. We are human, because human is what's going to make the change.
Yes.
The Ascended Masters can assist us. They can give guidance to the point that it doesn't usurp our free choice.
Yes.
But we humans have to do this collectively. So we're very much human. Not that my humanity was really ever in question, but just to set that record straight.
I would even say that I've been pretty human for most of my lifetimes.
Yes.
And I'm doing that again now. So there we go.
And I disrupted your train of thought, I'm sure.
I don't even know I got on one.
Okay.
Okay. Well, anyway, just to remind everyone, we are in a continuous process here, and this goes for everyone. And I do want to point out a nice posting that was done on the Shalalea message board the other night, again by Elizabeth. Sorry, Elizabeth, that I mentioned you so much, but you're just such a poster, you know, and your things are always very interesting. Reminding everyone that it was an ongoing process, and that is indeed true. We're all going through this, and we're going to continue to go through this, basically to infinity.
Yes.
Yeah. But before we go into any deeper stuff, guys, I would like to take a moment to talk about some other things that we've noticed on the message board in the last few days. For instance, you may have noticed out there that we have changed some things with regards to approving blogs, for instance.
Yes, that seemed to have concerned some.
Yes, and I'd like to talk. Well, before we go into that, I see Carol reacting. What? Infinity?
I'm afraid so.
I'll just say this, Carol. Of course, it is an infinite process, but there is a moment, of course, when you raise above the material world without necessarily leaving it behind. I do remember a comment somewhere else on Shalalea by Bert from Belgium, I believe he is, making a very good point that many people who are getting into this ascension process right now, thinking that they are going to leave 3D behind. Now, and actually Bert made a good comment to say that the only thing that ties us really into 3D and restricts us are our past experiences. And I will give him a point in that, because that is really true. That is really true. Our past experiences are really inside of us as attributes, and it is these attributes that restrict and limit us and make us into a limited being.
But that's only part of the picture. Because we also have, there is a program, we have been conditioned to operate from certain beliefs, and those beliefs have to be dismantled. They have to be, you have to let go of those beliefs also, as well as personality, which has been constructed from the beliefs, as well as other things, past life, that kind of thing too.
Exactly.
So it would be nice if it were just that simple, but it's a lot more involved in that, which is why it is such a grueling and fun process.
And that's why we're doing it with all of you together.
Yes, indeed. So let's get back to the point that we were making about blogs and the approval stuff. Guys, I just want to say to all of you out there, we do recognize your sovereignty, and we are not trying to in any way control the blogs that you are putting on there. The reason why we have actually chosen to approve the blogs instead of just letting them flow is that in the last few weeks we have noticed, and some of you out there might have also before we started approving them, that there were many people coming onto the forum who would make a profile, and then a few days later they would start basically advertising their real estate organizations like Paradise Getaways and things like that on the Canary Islands and stuff like that. So, you know, we had also gotten some complaints from people that already there's so much different stuff on the message board, so we just thought that it would be a good idea to keep those things off there.
And also to keep the material where it's more focused on ascension, not on, we're not going to be posting blogs that are of a Christianity kind of content, that sort of thing. So it's just a filter to keep a lot of stuff that just doesn't belong there off of there.
And especially the blogs that you write about your own processes, they are most welcome, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, so again, it's not a way to control things, it's just actually a way to facilitate, and we consider
streamline.
Yes, and we consider it a service, but to you all, that we can lean it up just a little bit. However, I'll say, if there ever comes a time when you find that one of your blogs is not approved and you want to take it up with us, just send us an email and go into it.
By all means.
We're actually spending too much time on something which is really not important. So, having said that, there are some other exciting things that I want to share with all of you, and the first one would be Bree's Mastering Imagination, which is now online in the Hollow Room on pioneerscollege.com/Hollow And I think that, somebody who may know Bree just a little bit, called Faye right here, has something to say about that.
Well, this is kind of new for me and different, so I'm excited about it, but it's kind of scary at the same time. I had gotten a few, because I've been doing messages through writing in my notebook for a very, very long time. And it's always been just one or two different voices. But Bree started showing up back in the fall, here and there. And so when Akara was on the radio show the other night, that was the first time I ever heard that anything like this was going to start happening. So, and I really didn't know much about her either. So it's kind of new for me, and so I'm just kind of diving into it and see what happens.
And
I think you did great.
Yeah, we're all very excited.
Yeah,
one thing about it, I had the microphone alone in my bedroom. Nobody could see or anything, so it'd be a big difference there if there's actually anybody going to watch me. But I'll be okay, I'm sure, by the time that comes.
Yeah, I'm sure. And actually,
maybe I'll be ascended by then. Nothing will bother me or scare me.
I'm actually very interested in what Bree has to say in the coming months, because I've been listening to it for several hours before I went to sleep yesterday. And it's just great, logical, and very easily comprehensible material, if that's even English. But it's pretty beautiful.
And I think she can really look from the human perspective too, which makes her kind of cool. I
yeah,
think
that's true.
She's really playful about it. And
she's playful, but she can also be very
bitchy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very, very stern.
And yes, a hancha would be a name of cheese.
You could say, well.
No, let's not go there. But actually, if you go to that page on the Hollow Room, we put a little bit more of an explanation about Bree's life, as far as she was willing to release that information. And her family does date back to France and actually goes to Germany, but the whole thing is right on there for you to discover. So I'm looking forward to the rest of Bree. And actually, the very cool thing is that in the last few days, Ikara has been talking to us, and he's been giving us a lot of insight in how the school, or how the college, let's say, and the curriculum this year is going to continue. And I just wanted to share a little bit about that.
I know.
Yeah. The first thing that I wanted to mention is that Ikara is getting ready, and I'm actually wondering when I'm going to channel all of this, but...
well, you're going to eat, breathe, and sleep it.
Yes, that is true. Ikara is actually preparing to start some type of practical Ascension classes, which of course is not to give a paradigm for Ascension in any way, nor a construct, but to give us advice where to look, what to do, what maybe not to do, what to investigate on a very practical level, so that it would actually facilitate all of us continuously making the choice. We actually thought that by now the first class would already be recorded, so I'm sure that one's going to happen very soon. We're very much looking forward to that.
Yeah, very much so, because we're kind of at a place now where sometimes it's like, boy, did I get stomped on. I mean, it's so... We're kind of sitting here going, we need a little bit, our information needs to step up a little bit here to keep up with it. So,
yes, indeed.
So definitely looking forward to it.
Yeah. So that's one thing. And there's also going to be another exciting thing that's going to start, and that's going to be a cosmic physics class, which is going to be taught by Einstein, Imzaia, if I am not mistaken, and possibly Bree will also be involved in that, because I do know that her background was that of a scientist a long, long time ago.
Go, Faye.
So I'm really looking forward to that cosmic physics class. We're also going to have some sort of art classes by Ziona. Zebulon is going to let himself be known, and there's just so much more stuff that's going to come up. Actually, in our next newsletter, which I'm preparing now, well, not while I'm speaking, which we are preparing in these last few hours and the coming hours, let's say. We're going to be talking more about that, and we're going to give you a little bit more of explanation about what has been happening since we sent out our last newsletter, because I have to say, guys, I know I wasn't here during the next show, so I still want to take this opportunity and thank you from the bottom of my heart for, well, I can only say for taking up your stewardship and for starting to co-create this whole adventure with us. There have been so many people who have stood up and come forward and offered their assistance in so many different ways. I don't want to talk about it too much on this radio show because I don't want to get caught up in any type of emotion, but we are very grateful.
Very grateful.
Yes, we are very grateful that all of this happened.
And where I'm especially grateful is everyone taking this up on their own and really having such a strong intention to see this all happen.
Yes.
And to see also the comments, the remarks, the support, all of that it just really strengthens my belief that this really is happening.
Oh, you know what?
I mean, it's really happening, and not next year. It's happening now.
It is.
Yeah. You know what? 6 hours after sending out our newsletter on May 2nd, I felt it in my being that this was going to take place, that there was enough energy, energy beacons, let's call it that, out there that are
which
now,
are all of you.
Yes, we are now imagining all of this together, and that is really great. However, I do want to talk about a little bit of these topics that I sent out in the newsletter together with my beautiful, beautiful sisters here. And that is that there has been quite some commentary, feedback, let's say, about not charging for the truth and connecting that to self-worth.
Yeah.
Now, I want to talk about that a little bit. Because,
Me too.
Yeah, because there may be a little bit of a vague scenario that's playing out here, which is not the way it is. In the newsletter, and actually in the 2 comments on the blog page on Shalalea, I go a little bit deeper into it. To me, there is a difference. Charging for the truth or charging for working with the truth. So anyone out there who has sent in these lovely comments that we can charge for our gift that we create and bring out to the world, that is really, we totally see it the same way. For me, there is a difference. Taking this authorless material, which is channeled material, and bringing it out and then charging for it, that would basically be saying that I am the author of this material, and I do not want to do that, nor Faye nor Ambika we don't want to do that. However, working with the material, giving sessions, writing books, organizing symposia.
Or even if we were to make copies on CD and those were to be for sale. But as long as, if we have a message that could change somebody's life for the better, remarkably,
Yes.
and then it's like a price tag on it, then who am I? I just can't be that person.
I actually see Carol on the board here saying, so copywriting is going to happen. Well, no, Carol, I was actually just saying the opposite. We are going to keep this material copyright free. The material channeled by these beings is not our
It's
material.
not ours.
So it won't be copyrighted.
We just make it available, that's all.
Yes, and I also see that people are reacting here, that they want different ways to donate. Yes, we are creating that. We're working on that, and that will also be sent out. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else to say about that authorless material and that sort of stuff, Dave?
I think that pretty well covers
I
it.
think so too. It's like this can be a change for everyone. So how could you?
Carol says, I meant the opposite as well. Mistype.
Oh.
Okay. Well, Carol, now it's clear for everyone.
Yeah. We will not be copywriting anything unless I write my own book. But even then, I don't think I do.
No, I'll go in.
I don't.
You know what? There has also been
I just try to stay away. This is again the thing of trying to stay out of 3D constructs. So for that reason, I'm not going to participate in that world unless I absolutely have to.
Yes.
But then still, it's just a formality, and you'll never act on it.
And actually, I do want to get a little bit deeper into it because the whole idea of working with money to prove or to yourself or to another,
that
your
self-worth would be connected to that.
Yeah, that, you know what?
I am not my feet.
The reason why we send out that email in the first place, the reason why we actually asked for this stewardship in the first place is that we have noticed with a lot of other organizations out there throughout the world that, have all done such great work to get us all to a point, is that a lot of religious attitude, religious behavior is coming into the picture. And next to that, we do not want to contribute to the very society that we are trying to change. The monetary system right now is a reflection of that society, and that is why we wanted to attempt it a different way. But again, it has already been proven, so we hope now that the working both on our end and on your end is going to continue. So I think we're quite covered it right now. Did we not? Yes. So, let's see. This is actually relatively interesting to talk about as well. The other day, do you remember? The whole day I felt that there was no people out there.
Yeah.
There was no world out there. So I don't know how everybody is doing with this right now, but I have these moments that I just seem to be vibrating in a different space and just no longer seem to be connecting to the vibratory space that most 3D humans are living in right now. Actually, Ambika, we have a story about that, going to buy a printer.
Yeah. That we can finally have.
Yeah.
Yay, thanks to you guys.
Well, what happened to me is that I went to the store to get that printer, and it was really strange to be out there. I felt in really a good vibration, but it was like no one noticed me. I was walking on the street, and every time I had to pass people, I was the one who really had to step aside. It was like they really didn't see me. And it was quite interesting.
Yeah, and we've talked about it last night. I've had that happen several times too, where it's I know I'm not invisible, but it's almost as if I am.
Yeah.
And it's just like, hey, I'm here. But nobody seems to recognize that fact like it used to be. I would get a smile from passersby, but it's just as if I'm not there. I'm the only one that's aware of it.
Unless we
bump in. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And yes, Carol, what you're saying, it does create a little bit of mourning sometimes until you actually start to recognize that the world out there, the way it's being translated by our brains right now, is not real. I mean, 3D reality in itself is real, but the way it has been manipulated is not. So at that point, actually Adonis talked to Faye today, and there was this little sentence that was said about how long are you going to be dabbling in 3D?
Yeah.
If you really want to go through this process, you have to start. If you really want to go through this process, you have to start breathing it. You have to start living it totally. So
24/7.
Yes. Is my voice better now, Mary? I hope so. If not, well, then I'll just start speaking louder.
Yeah. But and that was what he was saying. For a time, we've got to pull out everything. We have to give it up in order to relinquish any attachment that we have. Once the attachment is gone, we're free to enjoy any aspects of it that we choose to.
Actually, Eliza here is making a beautiful comment. She says the challenge and gift will be to find how to connect again from a different place.
Exactly.
That is it.
Exactly.
And she says, I know this is true, but I haven't a clue yet.
Well,
yeah.
If you find it, please send it
Yeah,
to
this
us.
is where we are right now, is trying to get that balance where we're at. Because, even using these computers and these microphones, sitting here talking to you guys is, in a way, playing out with 3D. And this is one of the ways that we're continuing. And I don't remember who it was that told us that there will come a time at some point for a period of time, briefly, we're going to have to shut down from any kind of electronic stuff just to get away from it. I think it might have been Katumi that was saying that.
That could be.
But it was like very briefly. It's just so anyway.
Yeah.
I see Patricia is asking me to go a little bit deeper in how I felt. Well, I'll try to explain it. So I'm walking through these streets. Okay. I'm sorry, I was a little bit distracted here. I'm walking through the street, and
You're on air, Ambika.
it's a different experience in total. It's like I really felt like an alien walking around in these beautiful surroundings. I saw a lot of beautiful colors. It was like it had all a different impact on me. But then it got and I also felt, and I've said that before once, like if people did pass, it was difficult to keep my own balance. Like their energy waves tried to pull me in their way, so that was there too. But really, when I was walking past people, I always had to go to the side to let them pass.
Yeah.
It was really strange.
You know, the thing is, guys, we are in a very unique situation here. I was just sharing with Ambika and Faye, the one known as Faye at least. I was just sharing with them earlier that, 2,000 years ago or 4,000 years ago or 6,000 years ago, depending on the life I'm actually looking back to, Ascension was a completely different animal. I mean, I am used to taking groups of people through this process in earlier times of my existence and getting them, I'm sorry the pun, getting them the hell out of here, actually raising above the material vibratory status as quickly as possible, because once beyond it, it's so easy to just let go of certain things and to see some things clearly. However, this time it's completely different.
It's never been done before.
Yes, this time we're actually ascending while staying in a human physical body
and maintaining some portion of personality, which can grow if you're not careful.
Actually, Akara shared with us the other night that we all, and this will go for all of you out there as well, that we all will need some type of necessary leftover personality that we can wear as a jacket, let's say, in order to interact with the world in these coming years. So that makes the whole process a little bit different. That makes it a little bit more challenging. And I'm also, I'm telling you, several thousand years ago, I knew what I was doing. This time around, it's like a completely new experiment. That's why they call it new energy, remember. Our vibrations are no longer reacting to us and reacting from us out to the rest of the world in the same way. I'm actually, if I look at the bigger picture here, what I am seeing is a great possibility that this will be going in very small increments where we keep raising the vibration of our body, but at the same time keep changing our DNA so that our DNA can keep reconstructing our body at a higher vibratory level, which then will release us from the state we are now in. So that's what I think is going to happen. But I just want everybody to be very clear that that is why we are all here. That is why there was a need for this college, for this Ascension Radio, for everything that we're going to be doing in the coming years together with you, and need to explore and need to find out together.
So that it will make it a lot more gentle, a lot quicker, and plus get the momentum going so it will actually take place and others can follow.
Yes.
And have to. Everyone's going to go.
And Elizabeth is saying here, so we are already helping the ascension process. The only work is to play with self and clear the crap.
That's right.
Yes, that is totally right. That is totally what it is. It's really about assist and ascend, like Carol said the other show, making that point.
Become a crap expert.
Lorian, not that one, the other one, the one on the board here, is asking, do you actually feel your DNA changing? Well, I do. Do you?
I don't know that I have had anything where I have said to myself or as a, oh gee, that is my...
Must be my DNA.
Yeah, so I would have to say, no, I have not, recognized it in that clear of a way or anything, no.
Yesterday, when I was in bed taking a nap, I was actually...
Oh, yeah.
Yes, that nap I was taking.
No, I haven't. No.
Yes, yesterday, remember? Actually, this was a very interesting experience because as the energy was
You mean during the radio show?
Yes, the nap I was taking during the radio show. Just kidding, guys. I just have a sense of humor too.
Yeah.
I was having a wonderful experience. Namely, so these energies were occurring, and this is not the Kundalini I'm talking about. We'll be talking about that in a while. So these energies were occurring. My vibration was raised, and actually I've been on Earth now for about 2 years again. And in those 2 years, every night, I would choose to leave the body to actually go travel. My body would remain on Earth, but I would travel. And the last few weeks, I have noticed that this is becoming impossible, that it is becoming very hard to do this, and actually it's beginning to feel wrong to do it. Because...
that would make sense.
Yeah.
You've got to get more indoctrinated here. More. Yeah. This is home.
Yeah, that's kind of like the problem for me right now.
Yeah.
Like, you raise your vibrations, yes, but at some point, there you are. You're going to raise your vibrations to such an extent that you're actually non-physical, and that cannot happen. So this is a little bit of a different process.
It's strange in the morning. You just find your body there.
What do you mean?
You left.
Well, remember in a car was I'll go ahead. I started, but the whole spontaneous combustion thing. Yes. So instead of finding your body there, it'd just be a burned hole on the mattress.
yes. So it's very interesting. DNA changes. Coming back to that. Yes, I'm feeling those very strongly. To go back into my story, last night I was laying on that bed. And as that was happening, I also felt changes occurring with my face. And now my face has been changing a lot lately. That's because I actually put on weight and then started losing it again. But this is different. This was an experience of my complete bone structure being recreated. And for a while it continued until I remembered, oops, can't leave the body. And I just fell back. So I don't know if there's any people out there. What is Jorma is asking, are you doing the exercise Damas gave us? Well, I never do exercises Damas gives, Jorma. I have noticed that they make people crazy. And you end up
that's what happened to you, huh?
Yes, and you end up in a cult, and it's just not good. I'm just kidding. Of course I do the exercises. But I also have to admit that I always make them in some way my own, and I do not, or I think this goes for the three of us here, we do not try to continuously follow it by the letter.
Right.
No, play with it ourselves.
Yeah.
Let it become part of our lives in a very organic sort of way.
Yes.
Any exercise should never be forced because you're just recreating something that you want to actually dismantle. So it should be fun, very relaxed. You should be in the mood.
And it can be new every time if you allow it to be so.
Luster Rings is asking, I know this is Pioneer School. Do you teach pioneers how to be pioneers? Well, actually, no. We give pioneers a kick in the butt to remind themselves that they're pioneers, and then we get a kick in the butt sometimes too because we have to be reminded that they're pioneers.
Exactly.
So it's like a general dual kick in the butt process.
Right.
Yes. So anyway, that there's no people experience is something that I actually wrote down here on my notebook because that was a pretty big thing for me. And then another thing that I would like to share that I have been playing with that actually might be interesting for everyone to work with also is the idea that dimension is size. And it's a very, very important idea because it gives you the chance to stay connected to the physical body and yet go into what we call the inner realms of what Bree would be calling the imaginative realms.
Right.
So I'm playing a lot with that, working with size and seeing the differences. For anyone who wants to work with that, I would refer you back to Lanwaya's message, Introduction to Portality, where he connects the idea of time and space to size and goes into that very deeply. We're actually still waiting for part 2 of that introduction.
Exactly.
I'm looking forward to that. But strange things are happening. I mean, it's so clear that we are no longer in Kansas.
Right. And I have noted, I think, though, I did ask you about it in the thing, like, where I was able to stare at the sun and just see it as a white circle and the color. And I think you said that was actually from vibration. but it was part of
Yeah.
the DNA thing too.
Yeah, that's also part, because really the DNA changes that are happening are only really happening to allow our vibratory cell to reach into higher frequencies within every vibration. Eyesight is connected to a vibration. If you go higher into those frequential states, you actually get to connect to higher forms of light, like even the ultraviolet and things like that. So yeah, that's why you would be able to continue seeing it. I'm sure that Adamus or Ikara are going to go into that in their next messages because they've been preparing us. So
Yeah.
Ambika.
Yes.
You're just too quiet still. 3 days and counting.
Yes. Actually, I thought Ambika was going to sing a song now.
I thought we were going to do this in the end together.
Yeah.
We've been practicing.
Oh, somebody let it slip. There'll be a song at the end of the show.
Yes, there is. So while we prepare, because in like 10 minutes or 15 minutes we're probably going to bring in Katumi, while we prepare for that, if there is anyone who has a question right now, go ahead and put it on the board, or you can always call in, because I think we actually could get this system to work. There is a caller. No, there's not. No, that's people who are, this is waiting to talk. These are people who are actually calling in to listen to the show. So are there any questions? Let's see. I can't really find. Do you go?
Well, while you're looking at that, there was one thing that kind of got passed over that I was going to bring up a few minutes ago when we were talking about personality, and most of you probably are aware of this. If not, you will be, and if you've forgotten, it's just a reminder. And that is that the personality is going to be almost an exact copy of your essence. So it will appear to be you. It's just that it's going to take you into thoughts, belief systems, behavior, where you're going to experience emotion. Some of that emotion can be pleasant in the moment, and then later on whammy you on the back of the head when it hits you going on its way back out. But just to remind you of that fact, that's why it can be very convincing, and that may give you a leg up in dealing with it, to remember that it will be an exact copy of your essence. So
totally.
That's
how it's set up.
Yeah.
You know,
so it can really be convincing.
And actually, I remember you girls, the other show, last show, talking about this topic, how the whole personality, ego, mind construct really in its creation has followed the more divine construct,
right,
say, of soul, higher self, and person. And it has actually created itself as in its image.
Right.
Let's call it that. And by that I would
like
say...
a Xerox copy.
Yeah, and by that I would say that the mind, which of course now is only remaining thought fields, has copied the position of the soul, that the ego has really copied the position of the higher self, and that the personality obviously has copied the position of the person. Now the attributes coming with the personality are more like the DNA creating the physical body of the person. So in that way, Faye is completely correct, is that at first it will always feel like something good or something you want to go into, or even when you feel that you don't want to go into it, you'll go into it anyway, because there is no possible other way. I'm actually...
we sometimes, I know in my past, have a very strong affinity to suffering.
Yeah.
Staying there longer than we need to, just because we just simply won't let that thing go.
Yes.
And I see Ariella keeps asking about my quietness and if quietness is needed. Well, I guess my quietness really was leaving myself behind. Like I knew personality has to go, or at least still to some extent. I know I have to use it when I need to use it. But in letting that personality go, I just didn't know what was left of me anymore, and that is why I got quiet. And I thought in the beginning that it was because I was experiencing reality different, and I also was like, I see that here too, like there is no need to talk anymore. But I guess that's all not true. I was just giving myself away in that.
Yeah.
There's an interesting question that is being asked from Shambra San Diego. Is our DNA still wired to vibrational energy rather than expansional energy for expression? Well, that's a very interesting question, because this is what you're describing is exactly the process that is happening. The biological DNA, the two strands of biological DNA, have been connected to vibrational energy in the lowest frequency for eons of time, while the while the energy strands of DNA, the 142, were not connected at all. Now what is happening, by the reconnection of our 142 energy strands of DNA to our vibrational cell, our vibrations in itself are expanding. And this will create a new type of expression, because these vibrations, which never overlapped before, are now becoming one field of new, expressive, free, whatever you want to call it, energy. So that is going to change a lot. I actually believe, if I look at the Mayan calendar, that entering the last underworld of only 13 times 200 and 260 days in total, when we move into the 9th underworld, 260 days countdown towards 21st of December 2012, I believe this is when our vibrational fields will begin overlapping and create a total image of ourselves in an expressive way, if that answers the question.
Glad you were here to answer that one.
Me too.
Well, I'm the priest.
Yes, you are. You look so nice in your beautiful white robe and purple. What do they call those things?
I'm actually thinking of growing my beard too and everything.
Oh yes.
Yes,
yes.
my white robes.
Yeah.
Yes. Anyway, so I hope that answers the question. If not, we can always go deeper into it at a later time. I do see that there is somebody in queue to talk on the phone.
Cool.
So we're going to see if it works. If it doesn't work, we'll see.
We'll keep at it until it does.
So here we go. Let's see. You should be on the air right now.
Yes.
Can you hear me? Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you.
Oh, good, good. I just had a quick question. Do you guys still find that you struggle daily with your ego and some of the normal issues of the self as you progress through these sorts of levels of ascension and stuff?
I'm sorry. We
It
actually have
sounded
a little.
so garbled. I'm so
We
sorry.
actually have a little bit of trouble hearing you. Would it
Okay,
be possible?
I'm just I'm gonna go off the sound and type the message then.
Thank you.
Thank
Sorry.
Thank you.
Thank you for trying.
Now, this could be just related to this lovely soul's phone system. So I would say, if there's anyone who wants to give it a try to do it again, we'll see.
Yes,
And
it's us
if
or if it's them.
and if it's the same thing, we'll fix it by next time. Oh, Jeffrey, I thought it was you, Jeffrey from San Diego. He continues his question. So, in other words, that will be the demise of duality within our DNA. Yes, Jeffrey, that's a really nice way of putting it. You should actually write more about it, because your ideas are very good. It's really true. Yeah. Okay, so Don, my question was, do you guys still struggle with your egos?
Oh, not at all. We just glide through every day without a hiccup.
Yeah, the only problem I have in the morning, Don, is when I wake up, I'm kind of like floating in my bed, and I have to kind of get back down to the floor, because of my angelic wings and all that. No, just to answer your question seriously.
We're making fun of ourselves,
Yes,
not you.
yes. Actually, it's true. Everybody still struggles with their egos. The ego is a linear creation, which means it has a beginning, a middle, and an end. Its end is at hand, and it's fighting for its own survival, not knowing that when it does end, it actually integrates back into the whole of its own beingness, which would then be us in our consciousness state. So, yes, we're still struggling with the egos. This even reminds me of a talk we had the other night about the ego and how it's like lashing out at everybody now, like wanting to continue its fight.
Yeah.
You know, like shouting at you, like, come on, take up your weapons, fight with me.
Right.
And, the advice that came through was actually to simply lay down your weapons and start walking away. The ego will start shouting at you with all its might. It will start screaming at you the most big insults about yourself and about how people could perceive you. But if you just keep walking away from it, eventually that shout will turn into a whisper, and eventually that whisper will turn into the sound of a still wind.
Yes, and I'm going to add those shouts, just to make sure that it is very clear, will appear to be coming from outside of you by way of other people that trigger you into feeling hurt or put down or angry. I mean, it's going to come from the outside, but your ego is then going to interpret, and you're going to go through it, and that's how it's going to appear.
Yes.
Not like some voice in your head yelling at you.
Actually, Knowing Star Woman, hello Knowing Star Woman, I know you, is saying here, my husband and I have been yelling at each other for days. I just ended it by deciding it was useless. So that is walking, putting your arms down and walking away and letting it shout at you.
Exactly.
That's totally true. What did you say, Ambika?
I don't know.
Thank you, Ambika.
I think I was pretty quiet.
Oh, okay. Somebody said, thank you, Ambika, that is wonderful for you to say this.
Well, you're welcome.
I got you confused with Ambika.
That's okay. I don't mind.
Yeah. So, okay, we've got about 10 minutes before we, or a little bit less, before we bring Katumi in. So let's move the topic a little bit about what Katumi is going to be talking about in depth.
Yeah, we can talk about that a little bit.
That new Kundalini thing?
Yeah, that feels so good. So good in the belly and the neck and the head.
Yes.
And the back.
This is something which is so universal and happening to so many people right now. Actually, every time we are surprised to be getting the same reactions from people on email that are going through the exact same thing.
It's so validating.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in terms of I know if I were by myself right now going through that, I would be wondering what in the world is happening to me.
And then hearing that it's part of the process really helps.
Yes.
So the difference towards it.
So how are you experiencing new Kundalini?
Well, I have the last few days, my body's been kind of quiet. So I had a very, very slight sensations today, but not much. The last time it was intense was maybe for about a half an hour in my pelvic area. Mm-hmm. Very, very strong. It was as if something were pushing hard up on me, and then very strong contractions. Very strong, hard contractions. It was like I needed to practice breathing to withstand them. And then it was over, and that was the last that I've had, really.
Yes, and I do have to say that, this is going to sound funny to you guys when I say it, but I've been having contractions too. And this is going to sound stupid, but I just hope that there's some guys out there who will emphasize, I have been having pain in my ovaries.
You don't want to be alone on this one, right?
No, please, some men.
Some man, own up to it.
Yeah.
Kara is telling me gender identity, Jeshua.
Oh, yes.
I see Carol say, I had to go.
Yes.
I see Carol go that she almost wanted to do a pregnancy test. Well, the last time I felt something, it really was like feeling this little baby feet really jumping inside of me. So I can imagine that you did.
Yeah, that's the one thing. I have to say a lot of the symptoms I've had in the belly area have been very closely related to either menstrual cramps or menopausal symptoms or pregnancy.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Julius. You are never alone, Jeshua.
You rock. Yes.
God. But it's really true. Elizabeth here is saying we're giving birth to yourself.
Yes. That's true.
And that's true.
It's true.
That's true. It's completely true. We're actually bringing in, literally channeling our new energy.
And I will share this, too. When I was starting to go into it at one point a little more intensely, that was one thing that Adama shared with me, was to continue to say yes, to let it come in and see it as a blessing and just say yes rather than to block it and slow it down by being resistant to it.
Yes, exactly. So that's been one of the major things for us, pain around the energy ovaries, let's
Yes.
say, and everything like that. Actually, Katumi is saying to me, no, he's talking to me.
Oh.
He's actually saying to me that he's going to be talking about that and why that is. So that's interesting. Then next to that, I have a lot of the neck pains are still there. My feet sometimes will get like icy cold.
Oh, yes, and I will get shivering cold, and then 5 minutes later, it's like this hot flash going through me that is just unbelievable. It's so hot.
Yes, it is
so
true.
Very hot. But yeah, my hands and feet are almost always cold anymore.
There's somebody here, Ruben, is saying, I had a full Kundalini awakening 7 years ago, and I panicked and tried to stop it because of scary misinformation on the net. Since then, my neck is blocked. Do you have any advice for me? Faye?
Oh, that's very cute to pass this to me. How cute you are.
Well, I'll say this. It did happen. Well, I mean, let's say it this way: the fact that it started and stopped because of misinformation does mean nothing. It might have caused a 7-year itch, like you're saying here, your neck being blocked. But I will say that with the new Kundalini coming in, which is basically the same Kundalini energy, only being affected by new energy, this would be able to clear fully. Probably, Ruben, what I see with you is that there is something there for you to look at, to really explore, because obviously this didn't just happen. What I'm getting immediately is that this process started with you several lifetimes ago, and that you were getting in above your head this time because of some misinformation and lack of other information that was given to you, but you cannot really hurt yourself. This is something I really want to go a little deeper into, the idea that we can do something wrong.
That's a good one.
Yeah, because that really is, can we do something that will annoy ourselves for 7 years, like your neck thing? Yes. But really, yes, but really do something wrong that is very different. That's a very different topic. Even today, there was a blog, and actually it's still on the forum, that was sent in with a list of information about all the bad things that could happen, and all the bad teachers and all the false prophets that could come onto your path, and how you could recognize them. And we were talking about this too in our wonderful day.
Yeah.
And one of the things that came up, shall I let you guys take over, because I seem to be talking a lot. I'm going to be talking soon anyway.
Well, memory loss is one of my big things. It's like I just go daffy in a second. So I do recall the conversation, but I'm at one of those things I don't remember the specifics. If you'll give me a clue, it'll jog it back, and I can retrieve it.
I'm in the same spot, sorry.
I do. I'm sorry. It's
really?
true.
What was
I'm not funning
about?
you. Oh.
Any help out there?
The false prophet, the blog with the darker energies and stuff.
The whole idea that we can do something wrong, the whole idea that something can happen on our path is an illusion. We were actually looking at the whole construct today that has been created.
Oh, yes, I remember now. Yeah. Okay. You want me to talk?
There you go.
Okay. Yeah, we were talking today, and it was in regards to us breaking free of the mental construct, and that this is just kind of one of those ways to keep it alive and well, but in disguise. So you get hooked into the idea, or maybe even into the fear that something bad could happen. We make a joke that, now it's that bad things happen. It's just, that's not the place you want to live, with the idea of bad things happen. And so that that information just perpetuates the whole thing, that there's something bad and dangerous out there, that it all happens willy-nilly, when it's all really quite perfectly orchestrated for everyone's benefit, to get the goodie out of every moment. So, and goodie means growth as well as pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
And there's also taking the real responsibility for your own creation.
And that's the thing too, is it throws in. This is one of the key things that has to go first off is the idea of being a victim. No one's a victim unless they believe they're a victim, and it's a figment of their imagination that they are a victim. You're creating it. So
there's actually people on the message board right now kidding about having fear about spontaneous self-combustion. Well, that's one of those things that actually won't happen.
Yeah,
Really,
it's just a joke.
It's different now.
The idea of look, what Ikara was really saying, I'm going to have to talk about this a little deeper. What Ikara was saying is that the state that consciousness is in right now versus the state of the physical body could likely generate such a conflict that a spontaneous self-combustion would have happened in an old energy. Even if you go back to biblical times, you read about it. Not that I read the Bible often, but
I've taught you a time or two.
but it's spoken in there that people would spontaneously self-combust on their way to ascension. Now,
that's an idea.
Yeah, that's a wonder. But with the new energy present, indeed, Mary, I see that's old energy. With the new energy that's present, it simply cannot
happen. Yeah, so
new energy adapts very quickly, and if we keep adapting to it, it will continue to adapt to us. So anyway, I think it's time for Katumi.
Wow.
Yes, I think we're on the air now for about an hour, so it's time to bring Katumi in.
Okay.
So I'll go change into Katumi, and let's play the song.
Okay.
Guys, I'll see you on the flip side.
Okay.
Enjoy.